on top of that, what I've done to try and help me breathing through my nose is I've epilated my nose hairs. So he's just absolutely bare inside his nostrils.
Welcome back to the Spin Cycle Podcast, everybody. I'm Kaylee Fretz. I am joined on this incredibly special episode, unique episode, by sitting next to me in real life in Australia, Ian Treloar.
Gosh, these holograms are getting good, aren't they?
Just incredible stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm here. And so are you.
Specifically, you're always here.
Imagine.
But I flew in this morning. I'm here in Melbourne for a week or so, doing some strategizing this week.
And bravely came out to the distant wilds of Melbourne's inner suburbia.
Yes.
To grab a beer and record a podcast.
So if you're watching on YouTube, you get to see Ian and I sit next to each other. And from across the world, Johnny Long.
Hello, I feel like a hologram because this is not usually how this works. You two are like an odd double act that was previously wearing almost matching plaid shirts, but then out of shame, Ian switched his jacket. And then you're drinking very milky beers, so not really sure what's going on, but we're going to go with it.
It's like 8 in the morning for you or 9 in the morning for you, which is normally my role in this, is to be the sort of,
But I'm father of none, so this is early.
And my role in this is normally not being here.
Can I ask you both to set the scene, because there's some nice lighting. It's clearly the evening. You're clearly in a beverage place.
I didn't do that today on the show yet. We just skipped right past that.
Oh,
it's
well,
very much like a Tour de France episode already. Today on the show, the Vuelta is underway. Vingegaard is back, and Danny van Poppel cannot stop collecting yellow cards. I'm sure Will can do something in the edit to make that sort of, just bring the music up and then bring the music down. And then, Ian, you had a question for Ian? Set the scene.
Ian, set the scene, please.
We are in... Are we geoguessing this, or are we just, revealing...
Oh.
Okay, so we are at...
No, that's fun. Don't
I want to know, though. I want to know.
We are at Melbourne's home of hazy and New England IPA kind of beers. And if you can figure that out, then great.
As a New England man, I feel at home here.
Yeah, that's very kind of you, Ian.
As also somebody that likes these kind of beers, and the people here are very nice and let us go upstairs so we wouldn't disrupt all of their clientele.
It was a deeply un-French experience. Showed up. They ask us if we like the lighting.
Oh, wow.
Gave us the Wi-Fi password.
Wow.
Which is all the single hazies, FYI.
Is that a nod to Beyonce?
I think it's simultaneously a nod to Beyonce and also a nod to this kind of beer.
Yes. Should we get to La Vuelta? Let's get to some bike racing. Come on, folks. Sure. We had the third Grand Tour of the year start over the weekend. One sprint stage, one kind of mountainous stage, not sort of super big GC day, but a GC day. Danny van Poppel get a bunch of yellow cards. We're going to talk about that a little bit later as well. Where do we start? Should we just start with stage one? Jasper Philipsen won, kind of going away, so that makes him what was the stat that Kit pulled up? The first rider to win the first stage of 2 Grand Tours in a row since whom?
Of both the Tour and Vuelta in the same year, since Fabian Cancellara in 2009, but both were time trials, one a 3.5k prologue, so maybe doesn't count as much. But yes, I mean, Jasper Philipsen winning the first stage of the Vuelta d'Italia kind of sums up everything you need to know about what happened on that day. Not an inauspicious start to the Grand Tour. I would prefer to skip right over to stage 2 on Sunday, which was much more eventful. Had a lot of slidey boys, which looked...
That was a real slidey one, wasn't it?
It reminded me of... the photo that Chris Auld took of that tour stage where it's Romain Bardet and Chris Froome just sliding forever on a frictionless road.
He described that as the photo that made his career, I believe, at some point on Instagram this summer. Yeah.
What I liked about the slidey thing is that there was reduced jeopardy. So normally when there's a crash, you're just like, somebody's snapped a collarbone or whatever. Maybe someone did, I don't know. But Jonas Vingegaard, he just slip and slided right out of it, got back up and won the stage. So that was good. Can
you give me an explanation of the physics here? Why is that?
Okay, so if you imagine oil...
No, I got that part of the physics. I got the slippery part.
The bit
what do you want then?
Yeah, why doesn't it hurt?
Because you're not like digging into the road.
Yeah,
you're just like gliding over the top of it.
And there's some, and I don't recall the physics here. I remember learning this in high school.
You're asking me for physics. This is wrong-headed.
If we have any high school physics teachers out there, maybe you can explain this in more detail. But basically, for every second that you extend the amount of time that the impact is taking, you decrease the force by some other amount that is large.
Thanks, Bill Nye.
You expected me to know any of that?
So this is why, for example, like shin pads work, right? Because if you extend the amount of time that the impact takes by even a little bit, you decrease the sort of force on the object by a significant amount. And so therefore, if you slide across the road instead of smacking into the road, it doesn't hurt you.
I like when you get tech editor on this.
I know. Ian, it's like if you imagine pouring all of the single hazies down the stairs and then Kaylee throws you down the stairs and it will hurt less.
That fun adventure in about 2 hours.
Yeah.
What other than the fact that Jonas Vingegaard fell down, along with most of his team and a whole bunch of other people, they fell down a big roundabout. There was a couple crashes in stage 2.
Guillaume Martin is out, which is sad. Because it means that one of the peloton's greatest minds is no longer in the race.
Is it happy though because the donkeys have seen the return of their father?
They get Daddy back.
Yeah,
he can go back to mending the turrets of his family chateau, which has been occupying his mind for the past 2 years, which may explain a lot, unfortunately.
And then we had this sort of interesting finale. I think is a good way to put this because they're still in Italy, and this kind of like punchy, not massive climb, but enough of a climb to make it interesting. We had a very early UAE tactical weirdness. We had Marc Soler just going off
excellent,
way too early, dumb. Sepp Kuss kind of just closing that up pretty quickly and easily, and then Jonas Vingegaard won the stage despite having fallen down like 25k earlier.
Thomas Pidcock also tried to do a thing. Didn't quite pan out for him.
Yeah, he crashed.
Tried.
He crashed with a bunch of his fellow research scientists, so maybe that explains some of it. But the Marc Soler attack is all you want from the Vuelta. Is you want things like that happening a lot, and we got an early taste of UAE in some semblance of disarray, because then Almeida and Ayuso I think lost like 10 or 12 seconds to Vingegaard and a bunch of others. So
it was a large group at the end there.
Yeah.
It was like when I watched it first, I just assumed that those guys were in the front group, and they weren't, which I think is not a great sign for them, to be honest, going into the next couple of weeks.
No, not at all. It's sorry, I'm just looking at I'm still actually trying to just get my life together this morning. This is super weird. Oh no, Almeida only finished 2 seconds back, but is it bonus seconds were the reason why?
Yeah.
But obviously
still
on
enough
those finishes,
of a gap.
On those finishes, it looks massive, doesn't it? And it's it's all mind games. So this is the perfect start for UAE. More chaos to come. They may have been dealt somewhat of some help alongside Vingegaard crashing and like having some bruising but being fine by the fact that I think the majority of Visma's bikes were stolen overnight, which is crazy. Yeah, it came out. I think
this is news to me.
It's definitely news to me. I did spend most of the last 24 hours on an airplane.
Breaking news. Well, I'll start at the beginning because that's a good place to start. So we had the whole Axel Zingel's bike apparently being stolen, Zongle, sorry,
I don't know.
Can we just say Zingle? Zingle's more fun.
Well, did somebody correct us on this? Is he's from sort of a more Germanic speaking part of France?
Like Alsace or somewhere, maybe.
Like Alsace area? Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
So that would make sense.
Well, he had a bad day where he crashed, his bike sort of disappeared, and he thought like a spectator had taken it, but it just ended up in the broom wagon. So they reclaimed that bike. Visma also said that Axel Zingle, had spurted his collarbone, which I don't really know what that means.
Was it spurted or splurted?
Was it splurted? I mean, either of them words. Do you know what either of those words mean? Because I don't.
Not in a cycling context.
Not in relation to collarbones.
No.
Like splurted would be like it splurted out of your skin or something.
Yeah.
Like it, something extremely gross.
Just a real
medical terminology. So that bike was fine, but then damn thieves, broke into the Visma bike van with pickaxes, touching the void style. Apparently loads of bikes gone, police investigation opened, but somehow Visma Lease Bike will have enough bikes to start
how many bikes can
stage.
they have? Did they just lease some more?
I presume so, right? That's part of the synergy of the Pon Industrial Complex, I would presume. But yeah, I mean, they're just like, the mechanics are working really hard and to get us sorted with bikes. And it's like, is that just all of the vans and all of the coaches and buses and whatnot that accompany teams at Grand Tours now? Do they just have to wander around enough of those vans and eventually like, oh, here's some bikes that we've just been driving around the whole of Italy or France or whatever?
I mean, they always have at least a B bike, but then if you use the B bikes because the A bikes got stolen, you still have to then make another B bike.
Yeah, where's the C bike?
Like they don't change wheels for flats, for example, anymore, right? Like swap whole bikes, and so you need to have a second bike, particularly for the top riders. You can't even start the day without a second one sitting on the car. So they must have just. I mean, maybe they have three. It's possible they have
wouldn't
three.
Surprise
to
me.
be honest.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and then they'll be able to, because they're still in northern Italy. So I imagine from the service course, it's easier to get down to them and replace bikes before they get to Spain. So probably will end up all right.
Little overnight drive from the Netherlands somewhere.
Love that for them.
Yep.
Love that for them. Final Visma. We've got a fun Visma Vuelta story, but should we save that for later in the show and keep going with the real stuff? Or do you want to crack on with it?
We must push the fun back as far as possible. Yeah.
Okay.
Back to the bike race, as they say.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, the fun stories. Welcome back, everybody. Who took a 200-kilometer taxi?
Oh yeah.
To the Vuelta to get there on time? Pop quiz. It is in the run sheet if you need to check.
I checked the run sheet and it surprised me because I had not previously heard of this man before.
What? Well, that makes me tempted to do I'm Ronnie Pickering joke, but I'm not sure how that will land with our cross-cultural audience. But it was Finley Pickering.
Idea.
No, I'll send it after. It's a great bit of British law.
Related to Ed Pickering?
Very much not.
Okay.
After dark, I'll bring it. I'll sort it for you boys. But Finley Pickering of Bahrain Victorious had to replace Damiano Caruso at the what's it called, Giro d'Espagna, and Damiano Caruso I think crashed in training or something and was out literally the day before, and so Finley Pickering luckily had to go and get some. His training wheels were at like his local bike shop in Andorra or whatever, so he was late for his ride. Got a call from team management being like, how quickly can you get to Italy to start a Grand Tour? He was like, right, okay, sure. Said he grabbed like a pair of pants and a pair of socks, and like the team would sort everything else out. Just an insane way to travel that I'm actually quite jealous of, and I would like the opportunity to travel like that once in my life. Just the fear that must grip you as, you know, the security people at the airport are like, why are you traveling with so light? Like what's going on?
Psychopath.
You psycho. Unfortunately, plane got cancelled. Not great when you need to be somewhere in a hurry. So then got a taxi 200 kilometers to the Giro d'Espagna. which is great.
This.
Yeah, which bit?
I hate the way he arrived. I hate the method in which he packed. I hate the last minute nature of it.
I love it all. What are you talking about?
Can you
Stressful.
imagine? I assume he's probably like 22 or something and doesn't have any significant others, but I'm just trying to imagine how that would fly if I was just like, okay, I'm just piecing out for the next 4 weeks.
Honey, grab my pants, please. I'm going to need them for this very long taxi ride.
I will need one pair of underpants.
The things that I realised, I didn't realise that it was that quick or that short a distance to get from Andorra to Italy. That's pretty good. I also think that as scared as the security handlers at the airport would have been to see Finlay Pickering turn up with so lacking of luggage, can you imagine the taxi driver who not only is asked to drive to Italy, then sees how little luggage that the small man getting into the back of his cab is bringing with him?
I don't think I could even do the taxi driver part of it. I couldn't do the bike rider part of it. But I don't think I could even be a taxi driver that's just like, okay, I'm just driving for the next 400 kilometers, so I'm going to just be out for the day.
I'm just out. I don't think it said anywhere how much the taxi costed. So we need to find that out. Might have to put in a word with our mates over there.
I feel like you'd probably negotiate a flat rate on that one. I think if the meter was running,
I don't think it's metered, no.
You might be in trouble. $4,000 taxi.
You're at the payage and it's still just ticking up as you queue to tap your card. So that's fun. A man who did arrive at the Vuelta well on time is none other than Victor Campenaerts, who's back for another 3 weeks of nonsense. Would you care to guess what his first sort of foray has been into content at this Vuelta? Have you seen this?
No. A lot of them have Matteo Jorgensen in them. That's all I know.
Okay, so this one, I'm not sure if it came from a vlog. It might come from a vlog, but I saw it in the Belgian press. Maybe it was an interview. I think it might have just been an interview. I should have checked that. But you know the nose strips that they've all been wearing? Mm-hmm. So Victor Campenaerts was talking about the nose strips, being like, oh yeah, I guess they kind of help a bit because what I try to do is, when I'm sort of not hyperventilating, but like when you're breathing heavily, naturally you want to do it through your mouth. But he's like, it's actually better to do it through your nose because then that gives you a calming effect, actually improves your performance. And he's like, not sure how much it helps, but best to try everything. And he's like, on top of that, what I've done to try and help me breathing through my nose is I've epilated my nose hairs. So he's just absolutely bare inside his nostrils, which is just a wild.
What?
And then
did I see a video of Jorgensen doing this?
Yes, and then Victor Campenaerts was preparing like earbuds with wax on them and giving Jorgensen the full Turkish barber treatment. No. And it's just like every day these guys find a new way to make their lives even worse. And it's impressive and depressive at the same time.
I think they're having a great time. I think they're having a fantastic time.
They are having a good time, and that's what's most worrying of all, is because everything they do is my exact opposite of a good time. And I can't understand how two humans can be so not alike.
I think it's like those body hackers, but those body hackers, it's just like extreme deprivation of the self, and these guys are just like leaning into it, and it's like, okay, what absolutely fucked up thing can we do to improve our performance?
Think back. Was it 2023?
Oh, Jackass.
They won everything, right? They won everything.
Oh yeah. Oh, so they got to make themselves feel something by ripping out all of their nose hairs.
They weren't fun at all, though. They were zero fun.
No,
zero fun that year.
But
now,
I don't think that they're actually fun. I just think that they have somebody that has a vlog.
No, they're genuinely fun.
They are fun.
Who else is fun?
They're fun.
Jorgensen's fun.
Mateo's fun.
Jorgensen.
Yeah,
even Jonas has been fun on the vlogs.
Jonas
hasn't been fun.
Well, okay. I wouldn't say they're fun necessarily. I would say they're all goofy. They're all goofballs.
Yes.
I think Jonas has been dragged into other people's fun, but I don't think he is having fun.
No, that's fair enough. The most depressing piece of Vuelta content I've seen so far concerning Jonas Vingegaard is, I think, TNT Sports asking him who the cycling GOAT is before the team presentation when they're doing that mix zone thing, and you can see him like trying to smile, but he just says Tadej Pogačar, and it's just like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this to the man who's literally a whisker away from just calling this whole thing quits and leaving us with a much poorer sport?
Well, but it seems to have been freeing for him and the whole team, right? Like, they go into July and they're like, we're probably not winning, so let's have some fun. And then they go into the Vuelta where Pogačar's not there, and they're like, well, we're definitely winning. Like, definitely. So we can still have some fun. It's great. They can have fun either way. I really like it. I appreciate it. You know, we spent all this time talking about Pogačar last episode to the chagrin, I think, of much of the audience.
Should we discuss that?
Should we discuss
that? Should we get into it? Kaylee, at which point, because at the start you made a valiant attempt on the Discord to back your corner.
Then I just stopped.
And then eventually the tide was too strong.
Also,
swept over you.
I got on a plane to Australia. That made it more difficult to respond.
Convenient. But no, I think I agreed with many of your points. I maybe didn't voice it as vociferously. But I think
I went a little hard.
Yeah, fine. I think it's good for the show. Probably, maybe not. But I think the point that's being made is that Pogačar is a human, regardless of. Well, exactly, right? If L'Équipe don't say so.
Yeah.
This is the point. But yeah, I don't know. What I mean, do you want to address? Do you want we don't want to relitigate the whole thing, but are there any final musings? Because you literally get to you had the first word, the middle word, and the last word on this debate. And then
they can't. Yeah. They're not on the podcast. All the people. No, I think I went a bit hard on him. You know, I do have empathy for the poor man who has to sign a million things every time he goes outside and take a bunch of selfies and all the rest. I think fundamentally, I just don't think that's the way to handle it. Like, that was my issue. Like, I don't have any issue with a rider being annoyed by fans, right? We've seen that a million times. We're there at the starts at the Tour de France, and we watch them, maybe go sign a couple things, but then come back to the buses and be like, and kind of grumble about it, right? Like, fine. Like, you're there to race your bike. You're not necessary. They're not there to be, monkeys in a cage, dance monkey dance, kind of like, that's the fan interaction thing. But there are classy ways to deal with that, and there are not classy ways to deal with that. And a big jersey that says "Do Not Disturb" and has a bunch of, pictures of cameras with an X through them is not the classy way.
Even if you're joking, even if it's some elaborate joke.
That is. I'm not counting that out, because we're talking about a rider who we've previously described as a meme lord. Like, he may be. This may be kind of an elaborate, 4D chess kind of joke here. In which case, I think it's actually slightly better. But we don't know. I don't know. I'm not online enough to actually know whether that's the case. So no, I'm standing by my assertion that this is a bad vibe, but I will back off on on my, I don't know, rampant character assassination of the poor man. I think that was maybe uncalled for.
Well,
was that what happened?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got a little heated about it. I was like, okay, what's wrong with this guy? Yeah.
I was picking the middle ground, and then Kelly was just like turning up more and more. He's like, no, you know what? We're all talking. It was good.
I'm glad I wasn't there, because I would have just been like, maybe he is depressed. Leave him alone.
Yeah, Ian's on the side of basically everybody but me, and I just think there's better ways to deal with it.
Well, the good news is that Tadej Pogačar has been back out training in his rainbow jersey. I mean,
saw that.
This is the thing, is that the discourse didn't even go to the whole how disrespectful that he's not wearing the rainbow jersey. We skipped right past that, but anyway.
That's true. Maybe he listens to the pod.
Not anymore.
And he was like, oof. I need Kaylee's approval.
He was back out.
Patently ridiculous thing to say.
He took a selfie of him in the rainbow bands making a point. With on the Col de Turini, I think, and then had he's like the Vuelta finished behind me somewhere, which was fun. But Tadej Pogačar has still been sort of not stoking controversy, speaking his mind, I think, is the way to frame it, where he weighed in on Danny van Poppel's sprint relegation at the Deutschland Tour.
Yeah, why?
Well, really good question. I assume because they are friends.
Yeah, probably.
That's my only. Didn't know they were such firm buds. Didn't know they were in that many races together. Maybe Danny van Poppel lives in the same Monaco apartment block that seemingly all of the pros all live in, and don't know. Danny van Poppel was relegated from the win of a Deutschland Tour stage for a textbook egregious sprint deviation, like all over the road. Just absolutely ridiculous. Tadej Pogačar had a screenshot and typed on it, the clear winner of today's stage. These relegations are absolute jokes and not correct. Job done poorly like so many times this year. Congrats, Danny van Poppel, you won.
He's not the judge. He's not the judge.
He is not. Also, it seemed like he really blocked off Matthew Brennan of Visma Lease Bike, Tadej Pogačar's sworn enemies. So maybe that had something to do with it as well, if I was going to put my tinfoil hat on. But one thing is that Tadej Pogačar said his piece, dipped out by then following up with another Instagram story 15 minutes later saying, don't get me wrong, if they are relegating riders here, they can relegate 4 to 5 riders. Look at the picture. Peace out. P.S. Here's my latte art progress. And then he posted a picture of the coffee that he'd made with the nice, like, sort of flower plant classic latte art thing.
Like weirdly penile.
Well, so the 15 minutes later
maybe.
thing... The 15 minutes later thing means that he was getting a whole bunch of, like hate on this, right? And then kind of either defending it, I guess.
Well, for someone
make
who
a coffee to clear his head.
Yeah, for someone who was waxing lyrical in the Tour de France Unchained about how he doesn't look at social media anymore and he's all above that and la da 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 da, on social media a lot seemingly. These things are hard to quit. But yeah, a weird August for Tadej Pogačar. I hope September brings him peace and tranquility. And yeah, maybe just need to log off, go to the middle of a forest somewhere. I don't know.
I have a question.
Okay.
Kind of related to this, which is, I think it popped up on Discord. I can't remember. Is Tadej Pogačar now bigger than cycling? And this is kind of related to both, my opinion of his no photo jersey, and just the sort of general fan reaction to a lot of this stuff. And I think that the only rider that I can think of in literally the entire time I've been covering the sport who was bigger than the sport at one point was Peter Sagan, who like kind of cut through in a way that I mean, previously you'd have to probably go back to like Lance Armstrong, I think, who cut through, particularly in, definitely in his home country, but I would say most of Europe, and even sort of beyond that, like cut through in a way that was, he became like this character and entity that was way more than just his winning bike races, right? Whereas if you look at all most of the other quote unquote champions, they're not. Like they are the bike racing is remained at the core of why people care. Is Pogačar now trending into that space where he starts to, like, the things that he does off of a bike become as much a story as anything that he does on a bike? I don't know the answer to this question. I'm just sort of putting it out there because I think it's an interesting. I think if not now, then soon for him, we're going to reach this sort of inflection point.
I think for Pogačar, there's probably a little bit of he is from a country where it's a small country, well, probably Slovakia as well, but he's got a difficult name to pronounce. He's probably not that well known outside of the cycling sphere. If I think back to conversations I've had with distant family members, Peter Sagan is somebody that was in that conversation in a way that Tadej Pogačar probably isn't yet.
Yep. He needs to grow his hair out and do a Grease video.
Well, I think also that Peter Sagan also had Specialized behind him, who are very effective at marketing and probably do things that cross over into like they might pop up on your Instagram reels or something. And I don't think Colnago is doing that kind of thing or
pissy.
Any of the or pissy.
Peter Sagan also had his partner, wife at the time, they've split since, was largely behind a lot of that kind of image making. So she was behind the Grease video. She was behind a lot of that stuff. And I don't believe that there's any sort of equivalent in Pogačar's corner.
Well,
so to speak. Like certainly not. Like I mean, Urska's racing her bike. She's not going to be doing that. It's like no direct analogy there. But like he doesn't have somebody who is professionally handling his image, right? Which I think would be the thing that would kind of potentially take him up a level, like for lack of a better term.
Sagan's wife, Marketa, I think that's her name, also worked for the Jerusalem Artichoke Extract Company that produced the Grease video.
Yes.
A synergy
of...
so many synergies.
So many synergies.
What do you mean artichoke extract? What's that?
That is what... Sun Rouge. That was the brand...
Right.
That was behind.
Do you think there's a chance that people are listening to this podcast right now and don't know what we're talking about?
I think there's a chance that people are listening to this podcast and don't know who Peter Sagan is.
If you have come to the sport in recent years, kind of post like 2017-18, which is really when Sagan started to kind of like fall off in both his cycling and just sort of general popularity. Just Google it. Google Peter Sagan Grease.
Yeah,
and you will see what we're talking about.
Actually, one of the defining demonstrations of love for me, like just watching them dancing to a Grease song.
Would it not be very fun for Tadej Pogačar to grow his hair out and like do Grease again?
Extremely fun.
It'd be so much fun. He should do that.
Yeah. Don't Google Peter Sagan DUI or Peter Sagan COVID vaccine. Keep it light and whimsical. Tadej Pogačar grows hair out. Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
He should.
I mean, when was the last time you had a Tour de France winner, like, actually while winning the Tour de France with long hair? I feel like that doesn't happen really, does it?
Well, Laurent Fignon lost the Tour with long hair. Famously due to his ponytail.
Famously,
right?
So yeah, I mean, he's got to start coming up with these sorts of weird little games to keep him entertained. He would either look great with long hair or terrible, and I can't decide which one.
Terrible.
Can someone Photoshop this for us, please?
If it looked like a David Gaudu, if it was that sort of bun, it would look ridiculous.
Yeah,
David Gaudu.
Well, so it's sort of like his hair is sort of like thick enough, spiky enough to pop out of his helmet, right? So it would sort of
true.
It wouldn't fall in the same way as a David Gaudu, flowing locks kind of situation. It might sort of like go up a fair ways before going out and down, right?
More of a Aslan Narnia situation.
Or like the world's maddest mohawk.
That'd also be good. He needs to
he needs something to pull out of this villain arc that he is headed toward. Right?
Yeah, he's just like he's crashing out big time in public.
Yeah, he's like super grumpy at the Tour de France. He's super grumpy post Tour de France. He is wearing this kit that I still think is just a terrible, terrible vibe. He is like clearly not in a good headspace.
Yeah, he needs a tattoo.
That's obvious.
He needs like a big gopping tattoo on his leg or something.
He needs something. He needs something to pull himself out of this spiral right now. Like in terms of public perception, as much as anything. Or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he just needs to go live in the woods in a cabin. I don't know.
Yeah,
one of the two.
We've been accused of being the Pogačar collective recently, but I think it's an interesting topic that keeps on growing legs. So
he's far and away the most interesting bicycle rider on the planet. So I think we're going to talk about him. Yeah.
Can we talk about Danny van Poppel, another interesting bicycle rider who I have learned is Boy Van Poppel's brother.
Yeah. What, you only just learned that?
Just learned it. And Jean-Claude Van Poppel's son.
Jean-Claude Van Poppel's a great name.
And Jean-Claude Van Damme's nephew.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure that out in my head.
No, I made that one up.
But imagine being a Dutch parent in the later years of the 80s and early years of the 90s that are just going to decide that you're going to call your firstborn son Boy and your second-born son Danny. Not Daniel.
Yeah. After Boy, you're like,
just
God,
Boy and Danny.
Damn, I'm actually going to have to put some energy into it next time.
And then just stopping there.
So yes, Danny van Poppel got his fourth yellow card of the season for an irregular sprint, and our colleague Kit Nicholson found basically a loophole where after you get suspended, like any cards that count towards a suspension, then can no longer be included in the future. So you know,
like they wipe.
They wipe. So as you get, if you get 2 yellow cards within like the 7-day period or whatever, then you have the 7-day suspension. Then it means that those can't tot up to then being counted for like the 5 yellow cards and like the 30-day suspension or whatever it is. So it kind of makes arguably.
How do you ever get to 5 then?
So you
if every 2
5 consecutive days,
like if every 2 gives you if 7 days off, how do you ever get to 5?
No, because you would like every first day of every month, your alarm goes off and you watch it. Oh, time to get a yellow card in a UCI race today. Doesn't accrue in a short enough time to count for a smaller suspension, but then you get punished big time for arguably, fewer I don't know, weird. So you could effectively get like 10 yellow cards and serve a much less time than you should.
This seems dumb.
It's just dumb. It's so dumb.
It's like a really poorly written.
I don't know why they put all these caveats in. It's so stupid. But
if you get a pile of yellow cards, you should just not be allowed to race for a while. It seems like a very simple.
Yeah.
And every additional one you get, it should get worse for you.
I think they should just it should be weights. Like you have to add like a kilogram weight for every infraction, and then it wipes at the end of the season.
But it's all sprinters though. You need like an aerodynamic penalty.
Oh, okay.
Just put their handlebars 3
for
centimeters higher.
every yellow card, for every yellow card you get, that's actually like for every yellow card you get, 2 centimeters wider handlebar, or 1 size larger jersey.
Yeah, and then Danny van Poppel's just riding along looking like an absolute clown still chopping people.
But then you by the end of the Vuelta, Danny van Poppel is riding in
a fat bike,
like an XXL jersey, just flapping all over.
It's like a wind sock.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, that would be good.
Exactly. And you would never win a sprint. You would never win a sprint like that.
Yeah, unless you crash everyone out. Yeah.
Not in today's cycling.
You block the road. So that's fun.
Should we take a quick break? Let's take a quick break. When we come back, what do we got left here? We have a whole C block. We have Renewi Tour. We have Van der Poel on a golf course. We have all kinds of good stuff. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Arnaud Delis, quite famously, 9 pounds of sausage in an 8-pound sack. Has defeated Mathieu van der Poel, and then kind of fell off his bike in a very dramatic fashion. It looked like it was not easy to defeat Mathieu van der Poel, which I think is maybe a given, but he did it nonetheless.
Yes, this was the Renewi Tour. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the exact finishing thing, but Pro Cycling Stats is trying to make me watch an ad about like a Dutch waste management company, ironically. Because that is what the Renewi Tour is based on. Yes, that was Arnaud Delis' second and third professional victories of a season that he's suffered through. Pretty much, he's dealt with injuries, illnesses, lack of form. So yes, basically caught Dries de Bont, like the closest catch I think I've seen in a while, where it's like literally looks like a sprint finish rather than like chasing the guy down. But yeah, by winning stage 5 of the Renewi Tour, Unorthodox then claimed the overall, which was big fun for him. Mathieu van der Poel congratulated him afterwards. It was a nice little image because Unorthodox was quite emotional. And then Mathieu van der Poel quickly got over that, and within 3 hours was on the golf course with his girlfriend, which I'm sure was how she would describe her perfect Sunday. Stage 5 of the Renewi Tour. Quick.
How was his swing?
Quick front nine. You know what? I've not forced myself to watch Mathieu van der Poel golfing clips.
Well, because so often, sort of non-golf athletes will post themselves playing golf. And I'm not a golfer. I'm definitely not a golfer. But I can tell when a golf swing looks bad. And it's so often quite bad. So that's my question about Van der Poel's golf swing.
I'm watching now.
If we're going to rate it out of 10.
I would give it a strong 8. The one thing,
a strong 8, huh?
The one thing that's usually, I mean, that a real golf person would probably say otherwise and maybe think one way or the other. But what I will say is that often you can tell clearly whether they played golf as a young person, like a youth, because that's really where you have to get the swing, where the swing is natural. If you try and pick up golf in your mid-20s or whatever, it's really hard to get that natural flow. Ian, are you enjoying this segment? We can go back to the physics.
What do you mean?
Well,
is it like a suppleness of the hips kind of thing? Like, what are you talking about?
I think it's actually a stable. It's a stability of the hips, if anything.
Yeah, it's your shoulder. It's your shoulder. Yeah,
you just got to be locked in.
Yeah, lock in. Shoulders want to rotate smoothly through the shot.
Golf, Johnny?
A couple times, sure. And yeah, you can just tell. You can tell when it feels like forced or whatever. I think it's just the natural evolution of rich guy Mathieu van der Poel, who's like, well, you know what? If they're gonna dunk on me for my private jet, golf, it's outside. There's grass. It's a sport.
It's the private jet of the sporting world.
He's like he goes to the club and he's like, well, everyone here is a private jet, so no one's gonna be rude on my Instagram about it. So so yeah, I mean, just the prospect of narrowly losing out on a Renewi Tour win, and then having the presence of mind and body to be like, I really fancy a quick spot of golf at 7 p.m. on a Sunday. It's just insane.
I also think it's probably a little bit, if you're Mathieu van der Poel, winning a stage of the Renewi Tour is not something that you care about. Whereas if you're Arnaud Delis after a tough season, that's probably a big accomplishment.
True. I mean, I think Van der Poel was trying to win. I mean, also the fact that he came into the race with like, I'm still feeling the effects of pneumonia. You'd think maybe just take it easy a bit instead of, plonking yourself around a golf course.
You can still experience pneumonia symptoms.
I don't know if you've
swinging a 9-iron.
I don't know if you played golf, Johnny, but it's not a particularly like aerobic sport.
Well, it's the walking mostly. And judging by the video, he doesn't look to be a golf cart guy. He's got this sort of, he's got a trolley, which is good because if he was carrying his bag around, that'd be insane. So he wasn't tired enough, so he's just going to walk the course.
Have you seen the ones that just like drive themselves and they've just got a little remote control?
Yeah, they scare me a
bit.
bit.
Bad vibes. Yeah.
I think you should have to carry all of your stuff.
Yeah, well, I don't like it when they have the guy in the jumpsuit carrying your stuff.
Barely a sport.
I mean, to be honest, golf, it's not my favourite thing in the world, but I think it probably comes under the bracket of things that it's okay to be mean about.
Is it punching up?
Yeah, it's hugely environmentally wasteful. I think there's a lot of weird money in it, a lot of weird rules of who can and can't be in the really nice clubs and courses thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely punching up for sure.
And
there we go. Silly. That's golf. That's golf talk. That's golf talk. Interesting episode, fellas. Have we got anything else, or should we go into After Dark to absolve ourselves of?
Roman Bardet won the UCI Gravel World Series in Montserrat.
A uniquely depressing sentence.
Yep. No, he's living his best life. He's like retired, and still getting paid. We found out at the tour, and so therefore needs to keep racing something, and so might as well just do the sort of
just win it.
What do you do when you retire from pro road racing anymore? You go and you win gravel races.
You just hang around for Eurosport for a week.
Yeah, I think it's great.
In a polo.
In a polo.
In a crisp white polo.
I think we should head to After Dark. I think we should. So. If you are listening to the free feed, this is the end of the episode. Head over to escapecollective.com/join to get the rest of the episode, which is the After Dark bit. We have enjoyed talking to you here from Melbourne. I've enjoyed sitting next to Ian throughout this entire episode. Maybe we'll do it again on Friday.
Wow.
Whoa.
Maybe.
See how this episode goes down first.
Yeah. All right. If you are a member, stick around for After Dark. If you're not a member, we'll see you on Friday. Bye-bye.